This is He Knows Everything, bringing you that heat that far. We keeping the foot on the what on the Knicks. We keeping the foot on the what on the Knicks. Let's talk about it. Timothy Bradley is going through what we call realizing that he had cognitive dissonance. See, when a real one leaves, like an Andre SOG Ward, what it does is it forces you to have to go into a mindset to where you have to now become real. You have to replace the aura. You have to replace the magnitude. You have to replace the stature. You have to replace the person that was around you all that time, that basically had an impact on you, that enlightened you, that got you to understand the truth. And we know the truth hurts, but the truth will set you free. And those whom the truth set free are free indeed. So Timothy Bradley is not wrong. He's not being a knothead. He's not being a bullet head in this variation when he's saying that Jermell Charlo is a 154 pounder. He's speaking facts. See, boxing fans, they have Rudy Poo and Plum Brain isms. They have classic dope and troglodyte-isms. They have ultra fanboy with the ultra fanboy rhetoric isms. These are diagnoses that are given to the lamest boxing fans because they are brain full of mush and brainwashed dodo heads. They don't use the true boxing eye test. They lack corpus callosum. They lack cerebellums. They lack medulla oblongata. Heck, let's just put it in plain English. They lack brain cells. They cannot see that Jermell Charlo is basically put on the chopping block. Jermell Charlo is put in a position to where Jermell Charlo is going to lose. You can't have Canelo Alvarez, I have to spell it out again, sign a 3-fight deal. 3, not 1, not 2, but 3. You know, a lot of you motherfuckers got third grade English, so let me slow it down for you. Not 1, not 2. You know, we got to do nursery rhymes. Not 3, but 3. 3-fight deal. Jermell Charlo's the first of 3. How does Canelo get to 3 fights if he loses to Jermell Charlo? Based on Canelo's history. For Canelo to finish a fight deal, Canelo has to win. We know this to be true, tried and true. We know the history of Canelo Alvarez. We know the history of controversy. We know the history of catch weights. We know the history of rehydration clauses. We know the history of boxing judging gifting decisions. We know the history of Canelo Alvarez winning controversial fights that he shouldn't have had no business winning in the first place. This is no different. Jermell Charlo doesn't even have any advantages. I would understand if Canelo was doing a catch weight. I could understand if Canelo went down to 160. They both meet each other. One goes up, the other goes down. But there's no situation where Jermell Charlo is basically getting what we would say a compromise here in his benefit or getting anything in his favor. Everything is in the favor of Canelo Alvarez. So how does Canelo Alvarez lose? Jermell Charlo has never faced an opponent as powerful as Canelo Alvarez. And I'm the biggest staunch Canelo criticizer. But I can tell you this. Canelo has proven that he can take a punch from 175 pounders, minus Dimitri Bivol, you know, got to put that out there. Take a punch from Triple G. And we know he's taking punches from guys at 168, i.e. Caleb Smith, i.e. Caleb Plant. These guys are all bigger and stronger than Jermell Charlo. Jermell Charlo is a 154 pounder. So quite frankly, there's no punch that Jermell Charlo is going to throw at Canelo that Canelo hasn't already touched. He hasn't already faced. Plus, Jermell Charlo is a hothead. Jermell Charlo doesn't listen to the coach. Jermell Charlo is a guy that will go into exchanges. We saw this in the Brian Castano fight. Brian Castano was able to do ring generalship against him, push him back. Canelo Alvarez doesn't have the power of Brian Castano. Let me say that again because I said it stupidly. Brian Castano doesn't have the power of Canelo Alvarez. And if Brian Castano could push Jermell Charlo back, and we saw in fights he was giving Jermell Charlo fits, what is Canelo Alvarez going to do that's going to be even more? Come on, man. Y'all got to start thinking here. Tony Harrison is not a power puncher, but he was landing shots on Jermell Charlo that was hurting Jermell Charlo. Canelo Alvarez is a whole lot more powerful than Tony Harrison. So what am I saying here that's not calling a spade a spade? That's not keeping it real. That's not keeping it a buck, and that's not keeping it 1,000. But boxing fans, they want to fall into what's called delusion. They want Canelo to lose so bad that they're not even realizing that Canelo has so much in his favor right now. He's not going to lose. The only way Canelo would have lost if it was Jermell Charlo. Charlo, not Mell. The big one. The only way he would have lost is if it was David Benavidez. Say what you want about David Benavidez. David Benavidez got power to stop Canelo Alvarez. There's a reason why Canelo Alvarez ducked him at 168. There's a reason why he ducked Jermell Charlo for a decade. And then you have Demetrius Andrade. He's been on the zone forever. He ducked Demetrius Andrade for 9 years. He was a stablemate with fucking Demetrius Andrade. Could have fought Boo Boo. Didn't want to fight him. He knows who's not to fight. Arthur Benavidez at 175 would have knocked out Canelo Alvarez. Canelo knows who not to fight. He knows who to stay away from. He knows who that free smoke ain't no free fucking smoke, because they can charge tack and fucking bulldoze and steamroll and plow through his fucking ass. But when it comes to Jermell Charlo's not gonna be able to do nothing against Canelo, man. Except what we call paid to lose and nosedive affair turns. That's the cold-hearted. That's the unadulterated. That's the cutthroat telefashion. So when Timothy Bradley is telling you that Canelo is bigger, when Timothy Bradley is telling you that he doesn't see no scenario where, if we're being honest here, and he was complimenting Jermell Charlo's abilities. I've been complimenting Jermell Charlo's abilities too. He's just too fucking small. This is a paid to lose nosedive affair. This is another situation where Jermell Charlo wants too fucking much, and he's gonna learn when you want too fucking much, especially when you want your brother's shit, being a scumbag, being a douchebag, and not understanding your truest and your most properest levels, which is to defend against Tim Shu. You are going to get exposed. Ivory keeps the foot on the what? On the pigs. In this instance, Timothy Bradley, minus not head, minus bullet head, which is a first. He's keeping the foot on the what? On the Knicks. This is He Knows Everything. Check it out.